Hi everyone, welcome back to this week Weekly Market Update. As usual, let's see what's happening on last week and the coming week and things to watch out, and also to follow up and recap of what we have go through last week. Some of the counter which I shared last week is very exciting because it actually went to my TP, my take profit level, just by 1 week times. So let's take a look and recap once again. So before that, let's see what's happened on last Friday itself. So for last Friday, we can see that the market is pretty well. It's doing good as well for last week. So down close 100 point, S&P and Nasdaq best week since November. Yes, this might be a headline. So what's happening in between? As we know that last week everyone is eyeing on the specific data such as like US CPI. Even the data came out. The market was not doing well at the start of the market opening, but then it ended at the best or close in the positive territory to end of the week itself. So we can see that it's a second consecutive positive week in the year of 2023. It's a good head start. Not only that, we can see that the bank also has some earnings report last Friday itself. So the sentiments reverse as I mentioned, right? It actually uh, after the CPI, after bad news, not the bad news, after the news came out from Bank of America as well. And most of the bank post revenue that beat the expectation as well. So you guys can go and read up on the earnings itself. So we can see that one of the headline is this by Bank of America, Bryant. So he said that he expect mild recession and is preparing for the worst. So meaning to say that he, as you can see that for the fourth quarter, 1.1 billion provision for credit loss was a sharp reversal from a negative number in the metrics years ago. Alright, so what he's trying to say that he actually putting money aside just to cover those kind of credit loss previously. Alright, so however, this is what he mentioned. They are expecting a mild recessions. I think not just only of Bank of America, there are other banks as well. If you guys can go and read up. As you can see over here, JP Morgan Economic Outlook, a mild recession in the central case. So yes, so what does this mean and where does it lead to us? We will look by chart. Because if let's say you are a short term, a more weekly to monthly basis, long term perspective, yes, it might head to there as we know that inflation is still there, interest rate is still at a high side. But if let's say you are weekly basis, there might be profit in between. Alright, so next thing is actually a China report huge rise in the COVID death after World Health Organizations criticized Beijing for heavily undercounting. So as we know that China's tax usually won't be that accurate, right? So as this is what I mentioned in my Facebook page previously, if China reopened the border, it gives the world economy the boost, but it also increased the number of COVID cases, especially after Chinese New Year, which is coming up, I think next week, right? Everyone will know. So uh, Hang Seng and China is at the upside right now. It's good when if let's say there's re-enter due to this kind of thing, because this huge, I mean the surge of the cases is temporary. Definitely it will subside, and then back to normal, just like how Singapore or other country reopen, right? So yes, people will tend to hold back, because this thing for people to worry and to scare of COVID cases, right? It's not be uh enforced by the government, because you see it goes backfire, right, where government asks them to lock down, cannot travel. Yes, because government think of the peoples, but people can't always be locked down. Their health, their responsibility. So if they say they want to travel and the surge of the cases, it may hold them back a bit, but then it will recover and back to normal. So this thing not just worry about the number of cases, it also bring the economy. Why? Because I can see when you scroll down slightly below over here, transport minister from China, a jump of 99.5% on the traffic volume. Everyone is start to traveling, start to fly back, visit their parents, go back to their family or start to traveling around. As you can see that the Chinese gambling hub of Macau, more travel is going there. Everyone can't weak hand getting itchy, want to gamble. So one of the counter which I mentioned, I'm not sure did I mention in my last video, but it's inside my note. It's MGM. We come to that later as well. It's a hotel with casino. Usually people will go there to gamble, right? We'll see the chart later. All right, so next week, just to take note as well, earnings continue. The bank earnings continue. Morgan Stanley, Goldman Sachs. And one thing which I want to highlight, if let's say you're holding on it, is Netflix. I think it's dropped crazily and it start rebounding. So where will it be and heading to? We are looking at the chart as well. All right, so next, let's go to our counter just to recap. So I mentioned a couple of things. Waiting for the breakout break. We are actually at the resistance level. We are looking to the chart later. Then Tesla, attractive price to accumulate previously, which I mentioned. Airbnb, opportunity and a good risk reward. This is the one that hit my TP just by 1 week itself. CCL is a good risk reward as well. I mentioned in the last video why I choose these two counter, because you have one significant identical chart movement which is fall under my methodology. Alright, so that's why I picked these two. So let's recap on the previous charting. This Nasdaq, what I mentioned, well supported 10,600, and we are waiting for the resistance to go to 12,000, which is the upper resistance level, which is came to that. All right, so let's take a look. Okay, the chart look familiar to you guys. Okay, so this is a weekly chart. Let's see on a weekly chart basis. Okay, so this is what I mentioned. Why I want to show you from my Facebook page. Oh, I think I written something, but maybe I didn't save the chart, or I did save it somewhere here. Okay, so it's here. All right, so this is what I mentioned, 12,000. Can you see? So why I want to show you from my Facebook page, because I want to share and say that I actually plot the chart before it happens right now on the high side. So this is what we mentioned, and if you have managed to catch it, I think right now it's ending close at 11,500, 500 point from the resistance. There might be some room for it to go up continuously, and then we shall see what is the next movement from here or next decisions from here. Okay, so don't be too hurried to chase a reversal or a downside, because if you look into the day candlestick, this is a weekly candle, it's still showing some green momentum. It might come down, but the risk reward might not be that huge to you. So it's either you can wait for the breakout after 12,000, which I mentioned in my last video, breakout play. All right, or if let's say it break out and form a reversal candle, come back to the resistance, supporter resistance, then it might show some sign back to the triangle. Okay, but firstly, we are actually at the corner, at the end of the descending triangle, so it's very volatile, can be either side breakout. So have to monitor. All right, so what is my take from here? If you are asking me, I will not enter. If I have entered, I entered previously. All right, so right now, if you have entered, you should move your stop loss to break even or somewhere to protect yourself, or took partial profit. Is up to you. But if you entered previously, you can continue right on it for the breakout. Okay, for people who didn't, then wait for the breakout and then entered. All right, waiting for breakout, higher risk, more confirmations. Okay, next thing we'll be looking at next counter. This is Tesla. Let's see where is Tesla ending at the moment. After this, I will be bringing one or two more counter as well. Hopefully, can put it to your watch list and monitor. All right, so we can see no candle, green candle for the week. This is the weekly chart, gentlemen. So it seems like some rebounds is strongly showing over here. Of course, if you want to trade, all right, by right, we should ride with the trend. But Tesla, a lot of investor out there, a lot of people is eyeing to buy at a cheap price. So support area $100 is very fantastic if you can manage to nimble a bit at this area. Alright, I'm talking about investing, alright, investing. So the period should be longer, not by weekly basis. As you can see, the weekly jump a little bit only. We go to the day chart, jump a little bit only. Because right now it's the downtrend. No, everyone is trying to test the market, and not only that, if you put 1 week further, which is next following week, not next week, next following week, there will be Tesla earnings report on a Wednesday itself. All right, so maybe people is waiting for the earnings report to see how it's performing, and also waiting for the sales report as well. Okay, so but in the meantime, $100 is really attractive, or even for current price at 120, 122 is also attractive, which I say support area 100 and 120. Okay, so that's what I mentioned on Tesla itself. Next counter we'll be looking into Airbnb. Perfect counter, spot on. Let's take a look. Airbnb. All right, so one sharp reversal candle on weekly chart basis. Let's go into the January itself. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So Monday gap up, recover back, pull back the gap. If you chase on Monday, you feel the pain, but we know that we are riding on the upside. Hold on, your support should be below 82, stop loss, so you should have triggered your stop loss level. Right on it, we hit $100 closing. So this valid, all right, and case closed because it hit the TP of $100. Okay, so what's the next step? You should know by now. If you have your training plan, you should know what is the next step, what you should do, or otherwise, you should have picked up 1 or 2 skills from my video previously. All right, so congrats once again for people who enter into Airbnb. All right, so next, we are looking into CCL. Okay, CCL. I did explain why I chose Airbnb and Carnival. Look back on my last week video. Uh, some setup, so you should know. All right, so congrats to CCL holder as well. 1 week basis, it went up to just a week. How much it went up? 14%, gentlemen. 14%. All right, there's a lot. All right, 14, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So 5 green candle. So if you buy on the opening 925 or below $10, right now it's $10.51. All right, so I can't ask for more. I think 10-14% is good, but should I exit is up to your strategy. I will strictly stick to my SL and TP because there is always a reason for me to enter, right? Yes, so if I enter around $9 plus, my cut loss is $3. I'm waiting more than $3, right? In long term, this is more favor to you. I can't be waiting for a $1 profit and $3 risk, right? So it's subjective to individual and do your risk management. So I will continue to hold on to this counter. All right, so I think this is a 4 counter chart which I shared, but I did share more in my individual video, which I said remaining chart, watch the video. All right, so one of the counter which I mentioned, MGM. Hopefully I did mention, all right, because it's too many to mention during the first week of 2023. So this is what I mentioned. Market reopens, Chinese reopen, open reborder, gambling, resort, counter, industry is one to eye for, one to look for. MGM, we are looking at rebound back to this Fibonacci level around 41.6. So I am a little bit way off, maybe just $2 plus. I will hit my first TP level. All right, next counter is WYNN, Win Resort. I did share this previously. Okay, break below is this I shared previously. So may start to range bound cut. I don't know when I shared this, but I think it's since here, October 22. All right, start to range bound cut if you go below 50. So the arrow is here. I believe it somewhere. People who follow it didn't cut. Congrats to you. Continue to ride. You might took profit somewhere around at the top. Congrats, but you break out because of Chinese reopen border, and that's why I eye into MGM. All right. Okay, so next we will be looking into a certain counter. I think we will be looking into 1 second. Let me take a look. Hold on. Okay. There's some counter we will be looking into, like Bitcoin as well. Okay. So for Bitcoin, market come back positive again, above 20,000. I think I should have shared this. I usually use Coinbase. Okay, so support at 18,000. This is always the support at 20,000, right? So it right below, close above 20,000 is a good sign, and that's why you can pay attention to this counter, Coinbase. Okay, Coinbase. There's some reversal as well. This is some setup which I like. Break below the previous support, wipe off or flush out everyone, and then recover back once again. Okay, so it's a good sign. You should know where's your stop loss by now. If you follow my previous two, ABNB and CCL, where's your stop loss and where's your take profit. So I'm looking for $80. It's a bit at the high side for the next TP or resistance level. Okay, so if you want to be more conservative, you can put 70 or otherwise 80. All right, 70, 80 will be the good side. Good level to watch out. Okay, so next we will be looking at let me take a look. Okay, Shopify. I think it's about time for this counter. This is what I mentioned. 6th of August. Resistance 50, 55, 54. So right now, as well, there is some good setup which I foresee. This is what I say. So I say might have some pullback. These are all I draw previously. Alright, if you have pullback and bounce up right now, coming up, right? So this setup is what I'm looking for. Okay, flush out everyone, come back, well supported, didn't get a second flush, slightly above. Okay, so we should look if let's say there's a breakout in the Nasdaq. This may be a good chance, a good risk reward for you to pick it up. All right, so put into your watch list. So let's write. Usually I will write. So let's write 15 Jan 2023. So upside remains okay. TP 54, 55, SL we will put it at 30. Okay, so this is my good setup. Okay, so I just follow back. Alright, I just follow back. I just feel that there's some good setup, so just monitor from there. Okay, next counter. Everyone always like to ask me how is NIO performing compared to Tesla. Tesla is cheap. Everyone is trying to grab it. If the mother shares, the big shares, not the mother shares, I mean the big shares, the big industry shares has dropped that much, usually people will go in over there. Alright, but NIO, why? Because it's like a Chinese Tesla first listed, right? We shall see. This is where I say short bias on 3rd September. Okay, it's here. Okay, so as you can see, 3rd September, I bias on the downside. First support 15, it hit. Second support 12, it hit. Last, it hit 10. So 3 support level, you should make money by then. If you didn't, then I don't blame me. Okay, so nice, same setup. Wipe below 10, as you can see, go to 8, 9, come back again, go to 9 plus, wipe second time. Right now, slightly rebound. So it seems stable over this low price. Okay, it seems stable over this low price. So that's why I'm going to give my call for NIO will be slightly biased on the upside again. Okay, so used to support, used to be a support, right now will turn to the resistance. So it closed at around $12, which is 11.80, which the first resistance, first support become resistance. Second, we go to 15, and then we go back to $20. Okay, so this is what I'm looking at. Of course, we shall wait for its earnings for Tesla and the overall economy. Not to worry if you think that you missed the opportunity. Like I said, COVID cases, uh, COVID cases, if let's say spike again after Chinese New Year, there's a dip for you to get in. The major index is dipping, then you may continue to ride on it. Buy when it come down. All right. So the earnings is still quite far side, 2 months away from now. So it's not going to be that huge impact. May continue right on the upside. But why pick on this? Because the good risk reward. All right, the risk is only a few dollars, and the reward might be fantastic. Okay, one last counter. Just to work on you guys, and this have to put in the watch list. It's not immediate. One last counter will be I think it's my carbon. Sorry, gentlemen. One last counter. Okay. All right. This is this is an ETF. All right. This is carbon ETF. Go and Google if you want to know it. Okay. This is code symbol KRBN. All right. So this is about carbon. They list carbon those industrial have to use carbon, have to buy carbon. What is carbon? They produce carbon, right? Because they need to buy a certain level of how much can they produce daily basis and monthly basis in order for their factory to work. Yes, to say we are heading to solar, but it's not that directly convert. That's why I say put this into your watch list. All right, put this into your watch list. Once it's time, we can monitor and then we can start nimble because the whole world still need oil, still need carbon to run. All right, but the good side, we are showing some good sign why this is coming down. Maybe it's because solar is picking up once again. All right, this is solar ETF, so you can go to individual like plug. Plug is a smaller counter. Go to the bigger counter. There might be some pullback. All right, so this is why I watch out 20 August. Watching at 23, hit 23, came down all the way right. Right now we are below. Okay, so this share a common uh, setup which I like as well. Break below the previous support, flush everyone out, and then back again. Okay, so this is my own preference setup. So where's my stop loss, take profit, you guys should know. Okay, so that's all for this week really market update. Hopefully you guys enjoy. Select a few counter, put to your watch list and start monitor from there. First quarter or perhaps first half of the year, market might be volatile, floating up and down between the resistance support level because it have not set up strongly, especially on the people is still speculating whether it's 25 basis point or 50 basis point after all the data, which is the CPI such data after the announce. They still can't get the hang of what is the Fed is trying to do. So one more confirmation come in, then we can start buying, or we can actually start buying nimble a bit on those huge counter like Amazon, Google, Apple, even Tesla as well. All right, I will share more on my upcoming week as well. Beside on trading, I think it's good time to pick it up. I will let you guys know it's good time to pick it up for a long-term perspective. All right, so that's all. Enjoy your week. Goodbye, everyone.